Hey, everybody. Welcome back if you're returning. Welcome if you're new here. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I got to tell you, I actually had a plan for today's video, and I had a plan for today in general. It is 9 o'clock in the morning, and I've already thrown all those plans out the window. So we're going to wing it. We're going to use the Rebel deck. Some days just work that way, right? So I thought, you know what? I'm not going to fight it. I'm going to flow with it. I'm going to flow with it. See what we get. What is our advice for today? What's our topic? And I think at this point already, my brain is not going to work for what I had planned. Shit is going down with your job. Reevaluate, change your perspective, or fucking quit. And that applies to so many things, not just your job. And honestly, that when a situation is not going well and it keeps not going well and then it gets worse, how long are you going to stick it out? How long are you going to hang in there? Like, how long are you going to keep believing that something is going to change and it's going to get better? Because if you don't do anything different, nothing else changes, it's going to stay the same. So either A, you're going to have to reevaluate, as in, what am I investing? What is my return? And especially if it's a toxic scenario where it just makes you miserable, those are moments of your life you can never get back. Do you want to keep spending, not investing, spending them an environment that makes you unhappy, that makes you ill? Because stress will make you sick. And sometimes we just have to fucking quit. It's not dishonorable. And I know that a lot of us have been programmed to believe that giving up is horrible. Well, you know what? Sometimes it's not just giving up. You're not giving up on the situation. You're saving your ass. You're doing yourself a favor. It's not quitting. It's starting over. Because some of our choices don't work out. They don't work out the way we had anticipated. And there has to be a point at which we say, that's enough. No more. I'm done. I'm out. Save yourself. You know? Um, Now, I have kind of a three-step thing that I go through when there's a situation that's not working out. Can I change it? Is there anything that I can do to change it? Because, like, change your perspective. Am I looking at it in the wrong way? Am I just focusing on the negative? What are the positive aspects? What are the negative aspects? Actually put it on paper so you can look at it. Because we talked about perspective last week, and that can be a huge part of the problem. Not the situation so much, just how we're viewing it or how we're interpreting it. And sometimes it can even be a misunderstanding. Uh, if it's about a relationship, have a conversation. Find out, like, this is how this is looking to me. This is how this appears to me. I feel this way about it. And you may find out that the other person had no idea. Even your employer, you can talk to your boss straight up. They're still just people like us. Sometimes we let that authority intimidate us, but honestly, it's a partnership. And without you, they're not making money. So you need to step up and speak your mind and let them know what you need or what you feel or if things aren't working out for you. Same with a friendship, any interpersonal relationship, you have a voice. And if you don't use your voice, you may find out that your perspective is actually completely off just because your interpretation of something was incorrect. And if you find out more information, that may completely change the way you feel about the whole thing. They may not realize that you feel this way because you've never said anything. And so the only way to correct that is to say something. Please excuse my phone. I normally would not have it on, but this morning, Cricket was dropped off for surgery. And so I'm waiting on a notification that everything went okay. It's That's why Miley is so, you can see her, she is not a happy camper right now. Um, but anyway, it's again that perspective. Because like right now, Miley does not understand that I didn't just throw Cricket away, that she's actually at the doctor to have surgery to feel better so she can play. And so in her mind, Cricket is gone. I'm evil. Her best friend is not here anymore because she doesn't understand. Her perspective is that my best friend is gone. She doesn't have all the information. Unfortunately, I can't tell her that either. But if you can't change it, if there's nothing about the situation that you have control over that you can change to correct the things that aren't working for you, can you accept it? Can you accept the things that aren't exactly right? Are there enough things to balance it out? Like, okay, I don't like this part of it, but these parts are really good. That's why I said put it on paper. Really weigh it out, black and white. Sometimes that can really help us see big picture, the pros and cons, you know, and even situations where we're just mildly uncomfortable. When we actually put it on paper, we may realize that, oh my gosh, there are way more cons than pros to this scenario. And if you put it down, look at it, you realize I can't change it. Can I accept it? And you realize that, you know what? This is not acceptable. I can't accept this. This will not work. Can you leave it? I mean, are you in a position where you don't have the finances, you don't have the resources, you don't have the options to leave it? Start looking. Start looking for options. Start looking for resources because there are so many ways we can get creative, especially when you're unhappy. The most common thing that we tend to do is fall into victim mentality, feel stuck, give up, say, well, there's nothing I can do. And that's not acceptance, that's resignation. You've given up. Acceptance is, you know what? These things are really good. And I like this about this situation. So it's okay. And you know what? I'll talk to him and see if we can't work out some of these other things, maybe tweak it a little bit to where it's more doable. But when you just give up because you don't see other options, that's resignation. And that's very unpleasant. When you feel stuck and you see no other options and you just resign yourself to misery, we don't have to accept that. Absolutely not. Do not give up on you, okay? Because as long as you stay in that victim mentality, you're not going to progress. You're probably going to make yourself sick. And I can assure you that you're going to attract more unsatisfactory things into your life because you're in that mindset. And so if you're in a situation that you cannot change and you cannot accept, but you don't feel like you can leave, think again. Start thinking about, and this is a beautiful thing because we have a system in our brain. And of course, I can't think of the name of it right now. However, uh, when we start to focus our attention on something, it triggers our brain to look for those things. So if you're looking, actively looking for other options, you're not feeling sorry for yourself, you're not in victim mentality, you know you have power, you know that you just need to find the right resources to make use of that power to choose, to change, to go, to do something different. And that part of our brain, when we start focusing on that, it tells our brain, oh, this is what we want. Do you see how that attracts things? So if you're just like, I'm stuck, I'm stuck, I'm stuck, that's all you'll see. Every time you look, you'll see a closed door, a closed window, a blocked road, a detour. If you're thinking, I need these resources, I need to find these options, you know, whatever it is for your situation, if it's financial resources, writing is so powerful. It really is in getting our body, our brain, our heart, everything on the same page, because you're using all of those things together in that cohesion It just kind of like locks it in. So write down what resources you need. Then start brainstorming about how could I get them? And I mean, you can be ridiculous with this because what we're trying to do is get our brain to kick on to like, this is what I need. This is what I'm on the lookout for. And that sets your brain in that awareness looking for those things. So like if you need money, you'd be amazed at just going through that exercise of how can I get more money and write down I could do Uber Eats. I could work as a stripper. I don't know, whatever. But, and I mean, to each their own. What I'm saying is, it doesn't have to be extremely realistic. We're just kicking our brain on. You know, I could sell my car. I could, anything and everything you can think of ways to make money. And I could win the lottery. Don't put those out, don't shut that option out. When you're open to receiving, you're open to options. Your brain I'm so close to the name of that system. I want to say reticulating system. It's something close to that. My God, how bad. Uh, anyway, reticular activating system. I believe that's it. If not, it's really, really close. Um, but that part of our brain puts the radar on. It puts the signal out. This is what I need. This is what I need. Or I need to find a new job. This job sucks. I don't like my boss. I don't like my hours. I don't like the pay. And you start looking at what else could I do? Could I freelance? Could I do this? Could I do that? What's something I've always wanted to do? And start getting into that mindset because then you're going to start seeing those things pop up in your life because you could have driven by the billboard 6 times 600 times that had the advertisement for the job that you wanted. But because you were in that mindset that you're a victim and you're stuck and you don't have any options, you didn't see it. But when you're open to new opportunities, new possibilities, you're that part of your brain that I might have called correctly is like, oh, wait, it's there. It's right there. That's the thing. That's what we're looking for. And that'll come into your awareness. Just like if you are uh, looking for homes, you just started looking for homes. All of a sudden, you see all these homes for sale. You've driven past them for weeks, but you weren't looking. So you didn't see them. Your brain cut that out because there's too much information in our environment for us to look at everything. Our head would explode. So our brain focuses on what's important to us. And if it's important to you to be a victim and be stuck, that's what it's going to show you. You're like, oh, look, that verifies what I thought. Oh, look, I was right. There is no opportunity here. Oh, look, I don't have any other options. So if you can hear that, I apologize. Apparently, the cat thinks that she should be a part of this. One moment, please. All right. My apologies. Smokey decided he would really like to join us and he was going to bang on the door until he did. But yeah, it's really about what we believe is possible and what we have in our mind is possible. That's what will show up for us. So if you're in the situation that you can't change, you can't accept, but you don't think you can leave, activate that part of your brain. Feed it with the stuff you want to find. Feed it with the things you're looking for. Make sure that you are letting your brain know, I want this. I want a better house. I want a better job. I want a better relationship. When I say better relationship, it doesn't mean you're going to find someone new, but you may see a book that all of a sudden you're like, ooh, I need to get that. And that has the information that's going to help you redo your relationship and show you where, you know what, I was contributing to the problem. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be a massive thing. It could be a small thing that can completely change your life as long as you stay open to the idea that you have the power of choice. You have the ability to locate resources and options and opportunities. It's just a matter of how our mind is set. Mindset. Mindset is amazing. It's so important. And at the end of the day, we have to remember not every time you leave something is it quitting. Because sometimes if you don't leave, you're quitting on you. That's the last thing you want to do because the relationship you have with you is a lifetime relationship. You aren't getting out of that one. You're going to be with you from birth to death, and everything in between is going to be a result of the decisions that you make. Make good decisions for you. Don't quit you. Quit the shitty job. Quit the crappy relationship. Quit the horrible environment. Don't quit you. And when you figure out that you can rely on yourself, you are not going to allow yourself to be in situations where you're not treated well, you're not getting equal return on your investment. You're going to call bullshit and leave. That's not quitting. That's self respect. That's putting yourself first and being a priority in your own life. So don't ever feel like you're quitting when you want better for yourself. Um, Sometimes the best thing you can do is fucking quit. And talking about mindset, um, I did want to share the audiobook version of Get Your Shit Together is now available. Got that all handled. And it's paperback, Kindle, and audiobook. It's all about mindset, feeding our brains the right information, figuring out what's going on in there so that we can live our best life and let go of some of this garbage that we've drug around forever, that we keep making the same bad decisions. And because I tell you what, we don't realize how we're programmed until we start digging around in there to find out. And once you do, you can reprogram for success, just like that victim mentality. We're never victims of anything but our own choices. I know. I know. I was pissed when I figured that out too. Trust me. I'm like, I wouldn't do this to myself, but I did. I just didn't know why I was doing it. So I kept doing it. Now that I know why, I quit doing that. And that's why I wrote the book, because I'm like, oh my God, this is so basic, but none of us know this. Some of us know this, but trust me, figuring out how your brain works and how that affects your life and your decisions, it is so freeing. And to finally feel empowered and understand that you have the ability to make new choices and reshape your life, fucking quit. Fucking quit making your life hard. Okay? All right. Well, I hope this helps. Thank you so much for joining me, and I will talk to you soon.